Dear students, welcome to our online classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in Computer Science, GSIPU College, MYSURU. Dear students, in our previous session, we had discussed about the topic problem solving methodology, and under that we have studied the steps involving in problem solving methodology. They are problem definition, problem analysis, coding, testing and debugging, maintenance, documentation, and also we have learned the definition of all these things with some example. Now in this session, let us learn the algorithm with some examples. So what is algorithm? Algorithm is nothing but step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. And also you know that it is a textual representation of solution to a problem. What are the characteristics of algorithms? Here the characteristics of algorithm. There are 5 characteristics in algorithm. They are, first one is input. So what is the meaning of input here? The meaning here is each and every algorithm must have one or more input for processing. You know that what is data processing is nothing but we have to feed the data, computer process it. So here we have to input the data. So once the data has been input, computer process the data. Here every algorithm must have one or more input, or it has to accept one or more input. So second step is definite. What is the meaning of definite here? Here is each and every steps or instructions must specify clearly. The meaning is that we have to write all the steps or all the instructions very clearly. So there should not be any confusion. Next characteristics is effective. So what is effective here? Effective here is nothing but each and every algorithm must have minimum number of steps to be processed. Minimum number of steps to be processed. Because each and every algorithm must have its own length. Each and every algorithm must be in different size. Some algorithms might be with 10 lines or 15 lines or 50 lines. It depends on the problem. So here the programmer or the user, he has to write an algorithm or solution to a problem in such a way that each and every algorithm must take minimum number of steps to be processed, so that we can say that algorithm is more effective. Next, fourth one is output. So what is output? You know that the result of any data processing is nothing but output, or the result is nothing but output. So your algorithm must produce meaningful result, nothing but output. So each and every algorithm must produce an output that should be meaningful. That is one of the characteristics. So next characteristics is nothing but terminate. Terminate. Every algorithm must have an end or each and every algorithm has to stop at one particular stage. So that is the meaning of terminate. So students, these are the characteristics of an algorithm. They are input, means algorithm must have at least one or more input for processing. Without input, there won't be any output. You know that. Similarly, definite. So each and every step what we are going to write, it should be very clearly specified, or we have to specify it very clearly. And effective. So your algorithm will be more effective if it has minimum number of steps to solve a problem, or it must have minimum steps for processing. Next one is output. Each and every algorithm must produce an end result or meaningful result. And terminate. At one particular stage, it has to terminate or it has to stop. These are the characteristics of an algorithm. Now let us learn this algorithm with different examples. Students, let us write an algorithm to find compound interest. So first one is algorithm to find compound interest. You know what is the formula for compound interest? It is P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of n or time. If you want to find out compound interest, we should know the value of principal, rate of interest and time. So according to this formula, we should know the value of PTR, then we have to apply this particular formula, then we have to print the result. That is step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. First, we have to start an algorithm. And here, what is step 1 here? Step 1 is we have to accept the values of P or T or nothing but we have to read. We have to read the values of P, principal, rate of interest and time. This is the first step. So what is the second step here? Second step is nothing but once we have given the input to the particular formula, we have to apply the formula. Second step is applying formula, that is compound interest equals P into P multiplied by whole thing. Here I am writing this here, and we have one function called power function. To simplify this, 1 plus R divided by 100 comma T. So this is how we write this formula in the algorithm. So this is P, this is into multiplied by this one here, this term, that is 1 plus R divided by 100 whole to the power of T. We are writing like this. So this is your formula to find compound interest. Next step is we have to print the result, that is step 3, that is output CI or compound interest. So then finally we have to end this algorithm. So students, this is a simple example, an algorithm to find compound interest. Next algorithm is to find area of triangle. To find area of a triangle. You know the formula, A is equals to half BH or base into height. So let us write algorithm. The first let us start this algorithm here. Next step 1. Step 1 is we have to accept the values of B and H, or we have to input the variables. Here in this example, in order to find area of a triangle, we have to enter or we have to input B and H. Step 1 is input B and H. This is the step 1. Step 2. Step 2 is applying formula here. So A is equals to R, area equals, so here half into base into height. So half we can write either 0.5 multiplied by b multiplied by h. This one you can write, or you can also write in the place of 0.5 into b into h, you can also write b into h divided by 2. This also right. So either way you can write this. This is nothing but applying formula. Next, after applying formula, final step is we have to output area. Output area, finally it has to be closed. It has to end. This is an algorithm to find area of triangle. See, we are writing algorithm by looking at the formula. If you want to find out area, we should know the value of b and h. Here half is constant. So here we should know we have to enter the value of base and height, applying formula. Next one is you have to output area. So this is an algorithm to find an area of triangle. Next one is to find area of rectangle. To find area of a rectangle, formula is A is equals to L into B. Area, length and breadth. Here start algorithm. Step 1. What is step 1? We have to input the values of L and B. So we can write input L, B, length and breadth. Step 2, applying formula. So we can write area equals L multiplied by B. Step 3, output area, then end. So this is an algorithm to find area of rectangle where the formula is A is equal to L into B. So here start an algorithm. Step 1 is accept the values of L and B, and then applying formula. Next step is we have to print the result or print the area. So this is an algorithm to find area of rectangle. Next algorithm is to find the sum and average of three numbers. To find sum and average of three numbers. You know what is the problem is? This is to find sum and average of three numbers. What are steps here? First step is we have to input three numbers because we should know the values of average of three numbers. We have to input three numbers, then we have to find the sum. How do you find the sum of that number? By adding all the three numbers. That is to find the sum. Next step is to find an average. How do you find average? This is whole sum divided by 3 because there are three numbers are given here. So after that, next step is to print the result. So let us write algorithm for this. We will start an algorithm. Step 1 is input three numbers. Let me consider as A, B, C. Next step is once the values are input, we have to apply the formula here. Step 2. How do you find the sum? Let sum equals to A plus B plus C to find the sum. Step 3. Step 3 is to find an average. Average equals sum divided by 3. Sum divided by 3 because we have to find the average of three numbers, so it has to be divided by 3. If you find out the average of 10 numbers, this sum divided by 10. Now after this, step 4. What is step 4 here? We have to print the result. So we say output. Output sum and average. Sum and average. Next one is after printing the result, we have to stop or we have to end this algorithm. So this is an algorithm to find sum and average of three numbers. Next example is to find the greatest of three numbers. To find the greatest number of three given numbers. So what is the logic of this problem? Students, you should know that, see, to solve any particular problem, there are many methods are there. So, for example, one of you can solve in one method, maybe another person can solve in another method. So, there might be a more than one method to solve any particular problem. Similarly, here also there may be more than one method. So, let us learn or let me explain one of the method or one of the logic to solve this problem. Accordingly, so here let us assume that there are three numbers A, B, C. What is step 1 here? We have to accept the values of A, B, C, or we have to input A, B, C. So what is the next step here? What is this logic? Suppose if you want to get rid of three numbers, first step we'll assume that let large number be A. This is only an assumption. We assume that let A be the large number. So if once A has been over, now we have to compare B with large and C with large. So once we assume that let large number be A, next step is we have to compare whether B is greater than large. This is the logic here. So I am comparing B with large number. At this stage, large number is A. I am comparing B is greater than A. If it is true, if B is greater than A, then we have to say that large equals to B. At this stage, large value equals B. Similarly, same thing we have to repeat with another number C. Now, I am going to compare whether C is greater than large. C is greater than large. At this stage, large equal to B. And so, B is greater than A, isn't it? Similarly, at this stage, I am going to compare this C with this large. So, C is greater than large. If it is true, we have to say that large equals to C. Large equal to C. See, in step 1, we are assuming that let A be the large number. Second step is we are comparing B with this large. And next step is we are comparing C with this large. So, at the end of this process, at the end of the steps, so some value will be stored in the variable or the largest value will be stored in this variable large. So, then we have to print the large. Okay, so this is the logic of this algorithm. Now, let us write these things in step by step. We have to start an algorithm. Step 1. Step 1. What is step 1 here? We have to read or we have to accept the input. Here three numbers. Let three numbers be A, B, C. Second step. Second step, as I told you, we have to assume that let large number be A. We are assuming that let A be the large number. Step 3. In step 3, I told you we are going to compare other two numbers with large. So, if we are using the statement if B is greater than large. B is greater than large, then we have to say that large equals B. At this stage, large equals to B. Then you have to close this if. End if. See, from here to here is only one statement. Step 3 is 1, 2, 3. There are three lines or there are two steps inside step 3. this is only one step. In step 3, we are comparing B with large. Similarly, in step 4, we are going to compare another number C. If C is greater than large. Condition, this is a condition. If it is true, then we have to say that large equals to C. Large equals to C. So again, end if. The meaning is that we have started if and we have closed this statement. That is the meaning of end if here. So after this, at the end of step 4, some value will be stored in the variable large, or at the end of this step 4, the large number will be stored in the large that has to be output, that we have to print. So step 5, we have to print, or we have to output large, and after that we have to end this algorithm. So this is an example to find the greatest of 3 numbers. This is one of the logic, or this is one of the method through which we can find out the largest of 3 numbers. Next example is to find area and circumference of a circle. To find area and circumference of a circle. You know the formula. Area is equals to pi r squared and circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So students, in this example, in order to find out the area and as well as circumference, by looking at the formula here, area equal to pi r squared, we should know the value of radius, or we have to input the value of radius to find out area. And here this is a constant value, that is pi, that is either you can write 22/7 or 3.14. And in order to find out circumference, we should know the value of r, and again you should know the value of constant pi. Let us write an algorithm for this. So let us start algorithm. Start step 1. Step 1, you know what is step 1 here? We have to input radius. So here this radius and this radius both are same. We need not input R1 and R2. There won't be any 2 radius, only 1 radius. So we have to enter only 1 radius. So here input R. Other than this, we should know we know the value of pi. It is a constant and this is a constant. So here input R. Next step is step 2, applying formula area. Area equals pi, you know value of pi, that is 3.1416 multiplied by r. R stands for radius, r squared. R squared is nothing but r into r. This r into r. This is formula for area. Next one is to find the circumference. Formula is 2 pi r. So I say CIR. Circumference CIR equals 2 multiplied by pi, 3.1416 multiplied by r. So what is the next step here is step 4. Step 4, we have to print the result, or we have to output area and circumference. Area and circumference. We have to close or have to end this algorithm. So this is very simple examples to find out an area and circumference in one algorithm. In this example, we have used 2 formulas in one example, and have to make a note of it that there are 2 values of r, So we should not input radius separately for this, and this is for another value of radius. We should not do that. So radius is same. So if you read or if you input only once, it takes the same value for both the formula. So this is an algorithm to find area and circumference of a circle. Students, in this session, we have learned characteristics of an algorithm. They are input, mean to say every algorithm must have one or more input. Second point is definite, means each and every instructions or each and every steps what you are going to write should be clearly specified. Next one is effective, means our algorithm must have minimum number of steps so that it takes less amount of space in computer memory and it executes that particular program very fast. So in order to have more effective algorithm, the algorithm must have minimum number of steps to solve a problem. Next one is output. Every algorithm must produce a meaningful result, that is output. Finally, terminate. All algorithm must have an end at particular stage, or any algorithm which starts, it has to be end at particular stage. These are the 5 characteristics of an algorithm. After that, we have discussed or we have practiced different algorithms for different problems. Let us meet in my next session. Thank you very much.